to you in the past. It's called Original Gangsters: The Untold Story of Dr. Dre, Eazy, and Ice Cube. Your name has came up. We've discussed it as well on this show, but there was a piece in here that I was unfamiliar with, and I'm going to play it a little bit, but I was unfamiliar with the fact that Ice Cube put off N.W.A. For about a year to go to college in Arizona. Now I'm going to play this quick here, like some architectural design class or something, but let's play this and then I want your feedback.
Despite JJ Fad's success, neither ADCO nor any other major labels were interested in N.W.A., whose sound and image seemed much riskier. And so, with the group's future in doubt, upon his graduation from high school in 1987, Ice Cube made other plans. Following the advice of a Taft teacher, he took the train to Arizona and spent a year studying architectural drafting, receiving a certificate from the now defunct Phoenix Institute of Technology.
Oh, wow.
The other N.W.A. members kept plugging, but Cube decided to follow his hip-hop backup plan. He remembers a grueling schedule and work that demanded intense concentration. Architectural drafting is all about precision and learning the techniques and terminology to try to put it to use, he said. The drawings got progressively harder and harder as the year went on. He credits the experience with helping him learn to live on his own. He still worked on rap with his friend Phoenix Phil's crew, though they didn't really go anywhere. He missed his friends back home. I get calls from them. We're about to go to Chicago. Then we fly to Atlanta, he said. And here I have 6 months of school left. That was the worst year of my life.
Now, I never do this story. Talk to me about what you know about that.
First of all, it sounds like some AI shit. Number one,
it is. It's an AI. It's an AI. It's definitely AI. But it's an audiobook. All audiobooks now are pretty much AI.
You know, I'm gonna answer this first. I'm gonna tell you about my opinion on AI. I like it, but you gotta watch that shit. That shit be lying. Anyway, yeah, Cube did go straight out of high school to Arizona to study drafting because his mama wasn't going for that shit. And see, this is the part people forget that shit had not been accepted by the general public and had not been accepted as his household yet. So in order for him to go do what he had to do, in order for him to do what he had to do what his mama said to do and go get an education, get at a shot first, and then he came back. And then he had to go back and, hey, I ain't going back to this right here. The brother's always been a smart, intelligent cat, no doubt about it. It's just that, like I said before, this whole hip-hop thing, man, you know, all that was not established the way it is right now. And what people take for granted was just starting to sprout. What you take for granted today had not taken place. Like I said, in the beginning, Steve Dolores Tucker, everybody was on hip hop's head. Okay. I was even watching the thing this morning, Hip Hop in the White House. You ever seen that before?
No, I think I have. It's
on Hulu called Hip Hop in the White House. I watched it today, and it was talking about. It's produced by Young Jeezy, and they talk about how hip hop and the drug trade. They had a lot of stuff from N.W.A. and Eazy E about them. They didn't have any real interviews from anybody. I think they had one pre-recorded interview from Cube, but they were talking about how hip hop affected the White House, because when Eazy walked up there when Bush was the president, him and Jerry Heller rolled up to the White House. That was a major deal. That shit made national news, man. National news. And it just was a different time for hip hop. You had Tupac, you had Biggie, you had N.W.A. saying fuck the police. You had so much political shit going on. It rang out at the White House. And when Kanye West said George Bush don't like black people, George Bush was feeling some kind of way. Even though he was dodging shoes in Iraq, he was dodging shoes like Mike Tyson, like a Mike Tyson punch. But when it came down to what Kanye West had to say, that hurt him more than anything. He talked about that on multiple occasions, and it just goes to show you the impact that hip hop had over the government. And to see now that it's become just a bunch of fluff and bullshit, you know, because it had the power. It has the power to change. But again, it's been redirected and used against us. And now we are wearing pink, and everybody's happy.
And we know what color people's booty holes are, apparently.
Yeah.
Let me fast forward a little bit. This is another clip from the same book, Original Gangsters, The Untold Story about Eazy, Dre, and N.W.A. But this is where you guys are mentioned.
The group began playing shows on the road, piling into Eazy's navy blue Ford Aerostar minivan and sharing cheap motel rooms. At first, they opened up for Lonzo's revamped version of world-class Wreckin Cru, which was awkward for everyone considering their disparate styles and the fact that Dre and Michel'le had quit the group. But by 1988, had graduated to performing with acts like...
So to tell us about that particular period, we have about, what, 4 or 5 more minutes, but tell us about that particular period in time. Was it awkward with having N.W.A. and world-class Wreckin Cru on the same bill?
Yeah, but we never, ain't nobody piloted no van. I don't know where they get that shit from. Jerry Heller was managing Wreckin Cru and Eazy E and N.W.A. And he had booked us. Again, this is what happens when people don't know music. They just know booking. They don't know music. They booked world class. We the headliners over Just Ice, Ice-T, N.W.A. and Eazy E. It was awkward. Period. Okay, it was the gig itself was awkward. We were out of place completely, and it's like going into it's like riding in a limousine to the prom with your ex-girlfriend and her new boyfriend. You know, it was just awkward. We didn't speak on the whole tour. We didn't really talk. We flew everywhere. We only did like 3 days together. And I told Jerry, I need to do something else. It ain't my kind of show, man. It's not my kind of show. And he finally got us off to another, to some shows with UTFO and some other folks. But those kind of UTFO and Force MDs, that's what we did a lot better. But it just, you know, the whole time was awkward because I hadn't. I'm headlining. Wreckin Cru was the only one got some real radio play, and I'm headlining. And they watching us on the side. They on the sidelines watching us do songs that they recorded. That's it. How does that make sense? You know, it's like going over. That's like a baby mama and her husband going on vacation with her new boyfriend, his new wife. That's some awkward ass shit. You see what I'm saying? So, but again, nobody cared about that. All I cared was we was getting paid. Everybody was getting paid, and I was supposed to ignore that shit. And it was difficult, man. You know, and these AI books, I did the AI thing on me the other day, just messing with it, do a video on Lonzo Williams. And it all depends on the tone you give the AI, the tone of instructions you give the AI. Because, man, it was like, huh? It was correct up to about 85%. Then they start throwing shit in the mix. Like, damn.
Blue Afroman.
Because I'm always the bad guy. I loaned Dre money for a car. I sold Dre one of my mini cars. I only had one car. I didn't want to sell him that one. I don't sell friends cars. I sold two. Let me say this. I've been buying and selling cars since I was 14 years old. Back in the day, we would get cars, and my dad would clean our garages. People would give me cars, and we'd kick them home. And we had auto shops. So it wasn't about the transmission. I mean, carburetor, spark plug, and gasoline. That's it. It wasn't like they are right now. So we could fix them, and we flip them for $40, $100, whatever the case may be. So in my life, I've owned over 75 cars, personal, not as a dealer, just personal vehicles. Then it don't mean shit for me to flip a car. When I have a policy, I don't sell friends' cars. I don't sell friends' cars because I don't want to see the car. I don't want to see the car no more. I don't want to see it again. All right. If you fix it up or if you fuck it up, I don't want to see it again. And my brother and Dre were the only ones I ever sold cars to that I regretted. And both of them are the same thing. My brother had a BMW 633. He tore it up, and Dre tore up my RX-7. And that RX-7 bites me in the ass. If he drove it, I co-signed for him to buy the damn car. And when he just stopped paying for it, guess whose credit got messed up too? along with his. So yeah.
Yep. Looks like we're about at the end. Thank you everybody for joining us. I know Lonzo has to get somewhere at 5 o'clock. So you want to hit him with any last words or hit him with the rap?
Hey, folks, you know how we do it every Thursday before it's time to go. For those who never heard of me, I'm the first one to put Dr. Dre into surgery, stuck Ice Cube in the freezer until he got cold on the eve after dark 50-yard line Super Bowl. In the movie Straight Outta Compton, they played me as a hater of rap. Don't believe that Hollywood bullshit because it was all cap. My history goes deeper than you will ever know. Just remember that N.W.A. stands for Not Without Alonzo. We out, folks. Peace.